and welcome everyone. Jeremy here. And right now I am heading over to one of the Disney World costuming departments because I have been scheduled in a couple days for Typhoon Lagoon. Wow, getting some good rain right now. Wow! Okay, rain just got real. Talk to you guys here in a minute. So that rainstorm got really heavy. I did not want to keep recording while I was trying to drive, and I couldn't record when I was basically backstage at costuming. So I'm back now at my apartment. Really trying to keep on this schedule of putting out a video every other day. It's I'm not gonna lie, it's been really tough the last few days. Yeah, everything is, I don't know, like my opinion of being a cast member, I don't want to say it's changed, but it's definitely evolving, I guess, is a good way to put it. It's been really hot. And so many people, like, that's like one of their biggest complaints about Florida is it's hot and it's humid, and like right now, it's raining right now. I'm sitting in my car. I wanted to bring you guys along at least to costuming, and then maybe pull out somewhere, and it's right outside of Pop Century. Maybe go to Pop Century, but sorry, my camera's moving a little bit. It's literally just sitting on the dashboard, so I really need to get a tripod. But anyway, just these last few shifts, I've been working so much in Hollywood Studios, like 95% of all the shifts I've been working. And then I finally just got scheduled for Typhoon Lagoon. And Blizzard Beach is my home, but I have not been scheduled in weeks, like literally since training. So I've been having to kind of fend for myself with picking up hours, and it really has not been an issue. I've been able to pick up shifts here and there, no problem. But I don't know, over the last few days, working in the heat is something that I'm not really used to. I've worked in hot kitchens like all of my life, but this is something different. You know, I got to work. Man, my camera, it just keeps moving. I think I'm just gonna have to hold my camera. There we go. The other day I got to work and it was 97 degrees once I got to work. And that was unlike anything I've ever done, you know, because you're actually having to work. It's not like going to the park when it's 97 degrees and you wanna get out of the heat and, oh, you know, I'm just gonna go into this store, or I'm gonna jump on this ride and cool off. Like you're out in it, you know, you're out in that heat. This whole experience has really made me appreciate how hard cast members work. You know, you might run into some cast members here and there, because I know I have, that aren't into what they're doing. Maybe they're jaded. You know, whatever's going on in their life, you know, they could definitely be doing a better job. But just know that every cast member has definitely worked their butt off on, you know, multiple occasions. And that's what I've been experiencing lately is, you know, trying to maintain like a healthy lifestyle as far as exercise and working out in the elements when it's hot. This is really new to me. And I worked in Hollywood Studios a few nights ago, and we had like a high amount of staff, and I had the option of an early release. And I was like, no, you know, I'd like to stay. I'd like to work. So that means I got to replace someone in a station that I've never worked before, and that was the very front of the park. And keep in mind, like, I've had a little bit of register training back at Blizzard Beach, but for the most part, I've been one of the like, because I prefer it. The people being physical, like filling orders, grabbing food, grabbing stuff for people, um, filling orders. It's called a filler. That's typically what I do. The only shift I had that was a lot of register experience was literally just selling beer for the Mickey run. It was like, it started off selling soda, some snacks, stuff like that. And then once we were legally able to serve beer, because, it started, that shift was 2:00 in the morning. Then we're just pretty much just selling beer, like in the souvenir cups and stuff like that. But point of the story is, I don't have a lot of register training. And that shift, you're not dealing with like people using the dining plan, the Disney dining plan, if you're familiar with that. You're not dealing with like gift cards, Disney gift cards. So I get told, okay, like you want to work, go to the front entrance of the park, and you're looking for so-and-so, and tell them that you are there for their their early release. Okay, cool. Well, I go there, there's only one person there. And this is right at the very front of Hollywood Studios. Like right at the front, right when you walk in, it's just to the right next to Oscars, which is like where you can rent like the electric, like wheelchairs, basically, stuff like that. And pause the story for a second. My plantar's fasciitis has just been really kicking my butt. I got these new shoes. They've been better. Like, it's my foot has been probably like 50% better, which is fantastic. But it's not perfect. By the end of my shift, a lot of times I'm hobbling, and like when I'm done, I'm literally hobbling to my car, because it takes about 15 minutes of walking on hard cement to get back to my car after I've already been working. Anyway, so my foot was really bugging me. So I had the bright idea, I'm not gonna wear my slip resistant shoes. I have one pair of shoes that are they're a little long on the tooth, they're pretty broken in. I'm gonna wear these things. Let me pause the video real quick to explain. I wore regular tennis shoes because they do not exacerbate my plantar's fasciitis like my slip resistant ones do. They're not slip resistant, but everywhere I've worked so far, it has not been slick at all. Some places are different. I mean, you go into a true kitchen, you have to have some slip resistant shoes, otherwise you're going to break your neck. Well, this is one of those occasions. I walk in and I go in to relieve someone somewhere I've never worked before, and the first thing, I can feel my feet sliding. So I have two options. I can either try not to break my neck and shuffle across the floor, or I can say, hey, I screwed up, I'm not wearing the right shoes, go back to leadership, tell them, I'm sorry, I messed up, I don't have the proper footing, and I decided to take the chance and not break my neck. So the whole night I was basically just kind of like sliding, like shuffling my feet so I wouldn't fall. And because if something happens, it's on me if I'm not wearing the proper shoes. So that was a little stressful. And the fact that I didn't even know what was being sold at this spot that I'm told now, I have to work it. And so this person that I'm relieving, I'm asking 100 questions real quick, like everything that we have. She's literally telling me the closing procedure. Like, this is stressful. Like, I'm not joking. My heart, like I seriously had pressure on my chest. And I'm thinking, like, this is crazy. Like, what am I doing here? This is not my home park. I just picked up this shift, and now I'm on the other side of the park, being requested to do a role where I'm the only person in this whole, small facility, basically. And it was very daunting. Once everything got going, it was fine. But, like, for instance, no one told me this is a cashless position. So first order, no joke, I took a cash order. Luckily, the person paid with exact change. I say luckily because if they needed change, I would not have been able to give them any change, because the second the register drawer opened and there's no money in it whatsoever, I realized, oh my gosh, this is a cashless position. So that was really stressful. And so it's like, wow, right out of the gate, I've already messed up. Got through it. It was an absolutely ridiculous scenario from the standpoint that someone came by right at close. I have to close down, like there's these, like you have to manually wind down these like heavy curtains basically to like close it up. Well, I had to walk out with another, basically a supervisor, walk with them because they had money, because I accidentally took money. Well, when I got back alone, and let me just pause real quick. I went backstage in an area of the park that I've never been to, and that was so awesome. Like, I cannot say enough about how awesome it is to work at Hollywood Studios. I geek out every time I'm there. I just love it so much. But anyway, I'm backstage in an area I've never been, and it was the coolest thing in the world. And I walk with this person that's carrying a money bag, because you always have to have more than one person basically, just for security and accountability basically. So I get back, and this is kind of funny. This stalker, someone that's literally just going from like certain areas, making sure you have enough goods, basically food and drink to sell. They're walking out, they close the door behind them. I go to enter, the door is locked. It locked behind them, and my radio, like it's a walkie-talkie, is in there with, like, it's locked up. Like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Luckily, I told this person, who is a normal employee there, and she tried to get back in and realized, oh no, like the door's locked. So long story short, by the time I got back in there, it was 22 minutes after we had closed. And like, I'm supposed to have this place closed down and cleaned, and I haven't even started. It was 22 minutes by the time I got back in there, by the time a supervisor came and unlocked it. It was kind of a funny situation. It wasn't like I got in trouble or anything like that. It wasn't my fault. But I was told before all of that happened to go to an area. It's basically called, like, it's home base basically for that department, which is the food service. And I had no idea how to get there. I've been to a lot of backstage in Hollywood Studios, but there's so much going on. I mean, there are office buildings, literally office buildings back there that you would have no idea exist, because you can't see them, because they do such a great job with hiding stuff behind rides and walls. It's absolutely amazing. And that was kind of when I had this realization. At the end of the night, I had to there's these, you'll see like cast members selling stuff out of carts. They're really big carts, and they're electric. Sometimes if you see someone pushing a big cart down the street, you're thinking like, how are they pushing that? It's electric. It's literally driven with your thumb. They're really cool, really slick. But there's all kinds of different carts. There's ones that can hold trash, that can, hold goods, yada yada. It's like a utility cart. But I had to bring one to this backstage area that I've never been to, and they get cleaned and charged, and I'm looking at where they're all kept, and it's like a small city back there. It is just amazing. Like, this stuff goes here, that stuff goes there. And that's when I realized, like, all the experience that I have, it doesn't mean anything. Like, I was so, like, humbled in that moment. The only way I could ever make any kind of a dent or a difference is if I became part of leadership, and I really try to set an example. But like, and I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I've been so humbled at the vast operation that Disney is. Like, I'm one of like 65-ish thousand employees just in Florida. I think it's like 65,000. Like Disney World's like the size of Paris. Literally, that's not like an exaggeration. It's like twice the size of Manhattan. Like, who am I? Like, one person? It's such a humbling experience to really, like, if you don't want to do the job, there's so many people in line waiting to take your position if you don't want it. And I have more respect of Disney as an entity, as this 800-pound gorilla that it really is. I mean, it's a huge operation, and I have truly been humbled and have gained so much respect for cast members, for leadership. Leadership has been, for the most part, like nothing but great. Everyone's been super helpful. In fact, I actually got recognition from leadership, which I've actually never experienced before. Like, they heard that I worked the front of the park by myself for the first time, when one of the coordinators, supervisors, like, learned that this isn't even my home park, this is like my 5th week. They were pretty impressed, and so that was pretty cool. But hopefully I can keep doing this. Like, I'm humbled from the standpoint of, like, when it's hot, like, it's no joke. And like, I might be doing something where I'm just standing, and you're reaching over, like I did a concession cart where you sell beer, you sell drinks, popcorn, stuff like that, and it was another one person job, and you're having to reach down, bend over, all that stuff, open up beers for people, pour them. Doesn't sound like a lot, but I'll tell you what, when you've got arthritis in your spine from a really bad car accident, you've blown out both of your ankles, your left wrist will only bend this far because a stupid motorcycle accident, it's humbling. It's really humbling, and I really hope that I can continue to do this job because I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm not even joking. Like, I was pushing this cart up this hill backstage a couple nights ago, and the sun had gone down and it had cooled off to 94 degrees. Like, I'm just not used to these temperatures, especially like right now. Like, you can see it's raining. Ask me if it's muggy. It is so muggy. I'm standing there doing this like concession cart, and my chest, I look down and my chest is wet from just standing out in, it was 97 degrees at that moment. Or no, actually, that was when the sun had gone down. It had basically come down to 94 degrees, and I'm sweating just from standing there, And everyone talks about Florida in the summer. Man, they're not joking. And this is just May. Like, we're basically just about to mid-May. So I'm a little scared. But, oh yeah, I'm pushing this cart up, and I'm thinking to myself, please don't die. Like, someone's going to come around the corner and they're just going to see my dead body just like pointing straight up at the sky. And like, that was the last thing I did, was try to push this cart up a hill. And I died from like heat exhaustion and, having a heart attack or whatever. So I'm really hoping that I can continue to do this, because quite honestly, the only ones I see in my age group are usually, they're either supervisors that aren't really, they're not having to do much physically except for walk around and check on stuff. Or they're like, working the, admission or, stuff like that. And like, what I'm doing is, there's a lot of walking. Like I said, I did 5 miles on concrete. And I mean, you feel that after a shift on your knees and your ankles. I did that 5 miles like in a 6-hour shift, which is kind of crazy. Considering I was selling stuff, so it's like that constant walking back and forth and wow. But I don't know, the pixie dust definitely has a hold on me. And I know a lot of people have said, well, you talk so positively about working for the mouse. You're in the honeymoon stage. It's going to change. And quite honestly, yeah, I am in the honeymoon stage, and I was more so even a couple weeks ago. But, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful to be there. And depending on what I'm doing, it's like it's hard work, but at the same time, it's like, it's not that bad when you love what you're doing. And I love giving. I've already gotten compliments. Like you can see it when I log in on my my personal under my personal ID, basically on it's a website basically that shows you your schedule and how you do your transfers. It's for cast members basically, and I've already received compliments for like a really clean area and customer service, so that's really awesome. Seeing that type of stuff is fantastic. So but I don't know, if anyone really, like, if you desire to work for Disney, just know, like, you've got to love, well, you don't have to, but it would really help if you love Disney, you love the movies, you love the idea of the park, and you love the idea of giving great customer service. And it's draining, like giving yourself to people, hours and hours of the day. I mean, you're exhausted, like by the time I come home, like it's too, if and when I get a break, depending on how long I work, like the idea of eating food, no, I just want something to drink, like you got to keep hydrated. I almost said dehydrated. But when I get home, like, I'm not gonna lie, a cold beer and anything food wise is like, it's heaven, I mean, kick off my shoes and pour a cold one, and whatever is in the refrigerator is fine. Like, I'll eat anything. It's amazing how famished I am from just the mental aspect of answering questions all the time from guests. And I love that. I love the interaction with people. But man, this heat. Really hope I can continue to do this. Oh, on a really awesome note, today I found my half inserts. So, like, I can put them, they're the orthopedic ones that I got prescription, like custom made. I have these full size ones, but they only fit in one shoe and they won't fit in any of my work shoes. But I found my half sole ones, and I'm wearing them right now in my normal work shoes. I wanted to see how my feet feel, and so far so good. So fingers crossed. I really hope that is going to make a big difference. It should. So anyway, I think I've talked long enough. I just wanted to say, like I said, I'm not talking negatively about Disney. Like, I think I might have said, like, I'm expendable, and that's not like a criticism against the company. I mean, you're pretty much expendable with all companies. I mean, if you think at the end of the day you're going to be missed, yeah, you'll be missed by a few people, that enjoyed working with you, or maybe the way you handled certain situations or managing certain types of situations. But at the end of the day, all companies, they're concerned about the bottom line, and I understand that. It's not like, I'm sure someone will say otherwise, but it's not like Disney is this evil entity, not that I know of, at least. So far, I'm really enjoying working for them, but it's no joke. When you see cast members, please give them some grace. Like, if they're being grumpy, if they ever are, not that I think that ever really happens too much, but just know, man, like, we we work hard to bring everybody the magic, and I feel very grateful that I'm one of those that gets to kind of bring the magic and help, create that level of a magical experience to people. So yeah, anyway, thanks so much for listening to me talk. And I'm going to try to, like I said, try to keep on this schedule. There's so much cool stuff to do all the time, but God, I've just been so like wiped out lately. I've also been working like way more than I kind of wanted to, need to, because I have been getting scheduled a lot more now. But like today, I would have made a great video, but sometimes Jill and I, we just need some time to ourselves and not do a video. But funny story, actually, we already went over to this costuming place and I forgot my ID because they're attached to a certain pair of work pants that I have, and I forgot to take my ID with me. And just making sure I have it. Yeah, there we go. And so we get all the way over to Pop Century, and right outside of Pop Century is one of the, it's hidden, it is one of the costuming departments. And we get there, and Jill really wanted to grab some breakfast, and I didn't have time to turn back. So we basically just went there. I watched Jill have some breakfast. I got some coffee. We hung out, and it was just a great time. We literally just hung out at Pop Century for about an hour next to the pool and just talked and just pretended like we were on vacation. And it was such a great experience. And then I was like, well, you want to keep moving? You want to, check around the area? And she's like, I want to ride the Skyliner. And so we jump on the Skyliner and we're heading over. I think the next stop was Caribbean Beach Club. And the next stop after that is Hollywood Studios. I'm like, you want to go to Hollywood Studios? And she's like, sure, why not? So, we went over to Hollywood Studios, and literally it took 10 minutes probably total to get from Pop Century. And having those little like on the spot adventures with no planning, it's just amazing. Like when we live here in the bubble, the ability to do stuff like that. I wish I could have captured that on the camera, but like I said, didn't bring the camera because just wanted some time with Jill. And we got to Hollywood Studios, and I was kind of showing her some stuff of like, this is where I come in, this is where I go out, and on stage, off stage. It was really fun showing her some stuff. We watched the I can't remember the name of it, but it's the Beauty and the Beast live show. It's like a Broadway show. Like, it was impressive, like as far as the performance of all the performers. Like, really good theater experience. It's not really, I'm not really into that, but like I could really appreciate how much practice and effort everyone had put into that. And then we did Star Tours because it's 5 minutes, and then we did what do you call it, the shooting game, Toy Story Adventure. I seriously can't even remember the name of it, but where you pull the pull string and like you're shooting the targets. Toy Story Mania. Yeah, that's what it's called. And I beat Jill. Don't tell her I told you guys. She'll kill me, because she's really good. But I was better this time. But anyway, it would have been a perfect video to be able to capture. But we got to have some time to ourselves, also. But anyway. For the 5th time, I'm going to stop talking now. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you guys later. Bye-bye.